But now, 20 years later, we may get the chance to uncover the truth behind our urban legend. Because Andre Rand is back.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're looking at the most unsettling legends that ended up being more real than anyone could have imagined.
But according to the Coast Guard, around 120 boats vanish each year without a trace.
The Cave of Forgotten Dreams. Rock art has served as a perfect window into the past. Through drawings by Paleolithic humans, we've been able to get a glimpse into what their lives may have been like. One of the most telling is the Chauvet Cave. Among the detailed depictions of animals that once roamed the earth is a series of unique, unidentifiable markings.
Hundreds of images adorn the walls, most of them animals. They're surprisingly sophisticated.
One shows what appears to be a random smattering of bright red pigment rising towards the ceiling. While some think it's merely an ancient abstract style, there's a solid theory that it's actually the oldest known recording of a volcanic eruption. If true, it would prove that humans lived alongside and survived these extreme natural events.
It's some of the oldest art ever found, but opening it up to the public could destroy it.
Murderers coming through the medicine cabinet. Thanks to the 1992 film, the story of Candyman has been terrifying people for decades. The villain may just seem like a dark yet creative idea, but shockingly, it may have been inspired by a real-life death.
Okay, now take a look.
That is amazing.
In 1987, a woman named Ruthie McCoy was slain in her apartment by perpetrators who entered through her bathroom cabinet. Though she had called to report the strange occurrence, officers didn't respond for hours, and by then, it was too late. 2 men were arrested and charged, but a lack of evidence led to them being dropped. Knowing about the sordid event, it's hard to watch the movie without noticing its eerie similarities to Ruthie's tragic end. Charlie No-Face. Sometimes the scariest myths are born from tragic situations. In Pennsylvania, there were whispers of the Green Man, who was disfigured in his youth and spent his adulthood wandering the streets. The story was passed around for so long that the actual person behind it, Raymond Robinson, was forgotten. Robinson actually had been severely injured when he was young and took nighttime walks so as not to scare anyone. People would drive for hours attempting to see him, only adding to his legendary status when they failed to do so. The mystery around him grew so much that his real life ended up being obfuscated. He's proof of what happens when tragedy meets imagination and how it can have a permanent effect. Spontaneous human combustion.
All the mysteries surrounding Helen Conway's death seem to lead us back to one question. How did the fire start?
The name alone makes it seem like nothing more than a plot device in a science fiction movie. For years, spontaneous human combustion seemed to only occur within fictional novels. However, there have been several supposed cases of it throughout history, creating a scientific conundrum. Many experts have argued that they're caused by a combination of excessive alcohol combustion and exposure to flame, while others have theorized that those affected were in ketosis and producing more acetone, making them more flammable. Those who died from it were found in similar states, with charred remains and melted furniture serving as the only hints. Though the cause is unknown, the number of victims has made it seem likely that the phenomenon is more real than anyone initially suspected.
This burned from the inside out, and he said, I've never, ever seen anything like this.
Cropsy the boogeyman. Who could have guessed that a childhood monster would be based in truth? For years, tales of a grieving man named Cropsy who kidnapped children to replace his own were passed around New York City.
Later, as teenagers, we assumed Cropsy was just an urban legend. A cautionary tale used to keep us out of those buildings.
While parts were true, the truth was much darker. A man named Andre Rand actually was capturing children, and supposedly even adults, but his intentions were out of malice rather than grief. His confirmed exploits occurred primarily from the late 1960s through the 80s, including an instance where he kidnapped a bus full of students.
He said he was just going to take us to the park. We wound up in Newark Airport.
His crimes only escalated from there, and he was eventually imprisoned after being found guilty of slaying Jennifer Schweiger. The truth is so vile that it makes one wish it were nothing more than a dark tale.
There's that gigantic fear, wondering whether or not the boogeyman is going to come get their kids.
The Well to Hell.
This metal lid opens a new scientific frontier.
Speculation on whether the underworld is real or not has been ongoing for millennia. It has appeared throughout various religions, with many adamantly believing in it. In the late 1980s, a modern legend surrounding the well to hell cropped up, cementing those beliefs. As the tale goes, a borehole in Siberia was dug so deep that it reached hell, and that the screams of the damned could be heard. The truth is far less intense. The Kola super-deep borehole was dug by the Soviet Union and reportedly reaches over 40,000 feet beneath the Earth's surface.
And the borehole becomes the deepest hole in the world.
While there are anomalies at its depth, none were caused by supernatural forces, and the sounds that had gone viral were eventually revealed to have been from a movie soundtrack.
It's the deepest artificial point on Earth, a record that is still held today.
The Dancing Plague of 1518. There are some events that are so bizarre they seem unfathomable. But sometimes, reality is stranger than fiction. In 1518, a city was suddenly inflicted with the irresistible urge to dance.
Things got even stranger when the manic dancing began to spread. Within a week, another 34 people were dancing.
Though the exact numbers are unknown, it's believed that hundreds of people were afflicted with this mysterious disease. Those impacted would dance non-stop until they supposedly dropped dead.
One report from the time claims 15 were dancing themselves to death every day.
There are countless theories as to how it came to be, from the accidental consumption of psychedelic drugs to mass hysteria. It sounds like nothing more than a dramatic tale, but historical documents confirming it and similar instances occurring have proven that it's more than an old wives' tale.
A mass hysteria triggered when life got too tough.
Bermuda Triangle disappearances. Even something as seemingly banal as a section of the Atlantic Ocean has been the source of countless urban legends. Tales of airplanes and boats alike sinking into the depths of the Bermuda Triangle have kept sailors and landlubbers wary.
Thousands of ships and planes have simply vanished without a trace. No warning, no distress calls, no wreckage.
Tons of theories have been spread about the cause of these disasters, many of which are rooted in supernatural beliefs.
For years, stories of giant sea monsters, cosmic time warps, spinning compasses, and holes in the ocean that swallowed ships have echoed throughout the world.
While some crafts have been lost, the explanations behind them are rooted firmly in reality. Many of these instances, such as the crashing of Flight 19 and the sinking of the USS Cyclops, were found to have most likely been the result of human error. So while tragedies have occurred, they've been dramatized by the media into myths that still circulate today.
After 60 years, what happened to Flight 19 is now clear. And like so many mysteries, there is always a rational explanation.
The Bloody Mary effect. Even the strangest childhood games can have some basis in reality.
Bloody Mary.
According to the rules of the ritual, repeating the name Bloody Mary in front of a mirror will cause her ghost to appear in the reflection. Some people may see the deformed visage of a face, and while it isn't an actual spirit, there is an explanation behind it. Troxler's fading is an optical illusion wherein staring at a fixed point will cause other areas around it to seem distorted.
Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary is believed to be one of the most well-known documented examples of this, especially as it's commonly played in a dark room. So while the ghost itself isn't real, your mind may still try to fill in the gaps and convince you otherwise.
Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. See? Nothing happened.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into settings and switch on your notifications. Mind control experiments. No one wants to believe that their government would test its own citizens. Prior to Project MKUltra being revealed, believing that those in power were using everyday civilians for mind control experiments would have had you written off as a nut.
In the early days of the Cold War, the CIA ordered the creation of a secret program intended to find ways of mind control.
In the 1970s, however, those fringe conspiracies were confirmed. Beginning in 1953, the CIA developed several tests with the hopes of using them in future interrogations. Those being tested on were subjected to extreme stimuli, such as high amounts of psychedelic drugs, hypnosis, and even sensory deprivation.
That was beside my bed constantly, repeated between 250,000 and 500,000 times.
The subjects were often from vulnerable communities, and many of the procedures were performed without informed consent. The discovery of the program's existence completely shattered people's views of the government, making them rethink everything they had once known.
And during those hearings, the CIA finally admitted that this program existed. They admitted that it was probably not the right thing to do.
What myth are you convinced is based in truth? Let us know in the comments below.
Oh dear, what is it? I've spontaneously combusted.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.